Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Jurrien Timber on the pitch, but Arsenal fans must be patient. About his expectations of Jurrien Timber, Mikel Arteta recently told Sky Sports, "We are all desperate to have him on that pitch. His leadership, his skills, his composure, the way he competes, his intelligence, I think he is going to bring so much to the team. We are gonna love him." Although we were eagerly anticipating Tamber's 24-25 season in the hopes that he would demonstrate his full potential, that might not be the case. The upcoming season could focus on the Dutch star's gradual integration into the team. After signing last summer, the dynamic defender demonstrated his class by excelling during preseason and helping Arsenal win the 2023 Community Shield. He was eager to prove his worth in the 23-24 Premier League campaign, but an ACL injury took him off 52 minutes into his Premier League debut on match day 1 of last season, causing him to miss 45 games in all competitions until he made a cameo appearance on the final day of the season when Arsenal defeated Everton 2-1. After a successful summer break and an impressive preseason, expectations were high from him this season. However, despite playing in Arsenal's first two preseason friendly matches against Bournemouth and Manchester United, he was not available for friendlies against Liverpool, Bayer Leverkusen, and Lyon. Many Gunners were perplexed as to why he wasn't available in those games. It turned out that he had a load bearing injury. Given the nature of his injury and the length of his absence from match action, the setback was understandable. The Gunners, on the other hand, were concerned about when he would return and whether he would be in contention to face the Wolves on match day 1. Well, the good news is that he is back in full first team training. It may take some time before he is readily available as we anticipate. Ex-Premier League star says Havertz is not getting enough credit. Kai Havertz has been preferred over Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah in the Arsenal attack since Mikel Arteta discovered his effectiveness as a false nine. The German midfielder joined the Gunners with the expectation of playing in the midfield, where he was initially seen as an ideal replacement for Granit Xhaka. He started his Arsenal career in midfield but struggled to make an impact, prompting Arteta to experiment with a new role for him. Havertz excelled as a false nine last season, scoring key goals and providing crucial assists, helping Arsenal become one of the top scoring teams in the league. Despite his contributions, Havertz has not received enough recognition for his role as a false nine, with many fans calling for Arsenal to sign a new striker. Former Premier League player João Lecott believed that Havertz deserves more credit for his performances in this role. He said, as quoted by The Sun, "I think because we want a profile of a striker, a number 9, to have a certain look and image, I think we are not giving him the credit as a number 9. But if you compare him to his style, like his attributes, are they much different to a Berbatov, really? He is able to travel with the ball long distances. He is technically very, very good. He scores. He always looks comfortable in front of goal." Havertz improved greatly when we began to use him in attack and could score even more goals for us this season in that role. Arsenal dealt a blow in their pursuit of 40 million euros rated Euro 2024 star. Arsenal are keen on signing the Real Sociedad midfielder Mikel Merino. The 28-year-old Spanish international has been linked with a move to the Premier League, and he could be a key player for the Gunners if they can get the deal done. According to a report from us, Arsenal have had a 30 million euros offer rejected by the La Liga club, and they are holding out for a fee of around 40 million euros. The midfielder has a contract with Real Sociedad until 2025, and therefore it could be difficult for them to fetch 40 million euros for the player. Arsenal will be aware of the fact that he will be a free agent next summer, and they will want to put pressure on Real Sociedad to sell Marino for a more reasonable price. Don't stop. The midfielder is expected to move on this summer, and it remains to be seen whether the two clubs can work out an agreement. The Spanish midfielder has been a key player for Real Sociedad in La Liga, and he was exceptional for his country in the European Championships earlier this summer as well. He helped them win the Euro 2024. He has the physical and technical attributes to do well in the Premier League, and he would be a key player for Arsenal. Players like Jorginho and Thomas Partey have been linked with moves away from the club, while the Italian international is in the twilight stage of his career. Partey has been quite injury prone. Arsenal need more quality and depth in the midfield, and it remains to be seen whether they can close a deal for Marino soon. A move to Arsenal will be the ideal step up for the player as well. They have been pushing for the league title consistently, and the 28-year-old will want to win major trophies with them. Journalist claims Arsenal would be willing to pay up to £60 million for a prolific goal scorer. Arsenal are still looking for a new striker as Mikel Arteta prepares his team to challenge Manchester City for the Premier League title again. The Gunners have failed to topple the dominance of Man City despite getting closer to win their first league title since 2004. They have signed David Raya and Riccardo Calafiori this summer to strengthen their already brilliant defense. Claims have been made over the need of a new striker at the Emirates, and the Gunners have been linked with a number of attackers. Victor Osimhen, Benjamin Sesko, Ivan Toney, and Victor Gyökeres have all been linked with a move to Arsenal this summer. However, they have not signed any striker, and the wait continues. According to journalist Steve Kai, speaking on KS1 TV via the boot room, Arsenal would be willing to pay up to £60 million to sign Sporting Lisbon attacker Gyökeres. The striker has an £86 million release clause in his contract, and that is why the Premier League giants have kept their distance from signing the Sweden international. The journalist said Bruno Guimaraes, a really good player. Is he a £100 million midfielder? I don't think so. And that turned off Arsenal and Man City if he became available. Similarly to Gyökeres, at about 50 to £60 million, I'm sure he'd be someone we'd be looking at. But at that price, they won't. I think they more or less immediately said no. Gyökeres scored 43 goals in 50 appearances last season in all competitions for the Portuguese side. His record in front of goal is phenomenal, and he could add the attacking firepower that the Gunners need. Despite Kai Havertz shining at the Emirates Stadium last season and leading the attack impressively, the Gunners are looking for a similar presence up front to what Man City have in Erling Haaland. Signing a new attacker might complete the Arsenal team and address an important issue that they faced last summer. Newcastle decide how they will respond if Arsenal make bid for Bruno Guimaraes before deadline day. Arsenal are going into the final 2 weeks of the transfer window, aiming to bring in a new midfielder. There is now one midfielder who Arsenal fans can bid goodbye to the prospect of signing before the end of the month. There is a top-class player who will not be joining Arsenal over the final 2 weeks, as Given Sport share an update on Bruno Guimaraes' future. Newcastle will refuse any potential offers which head their way over the coming weeks for their Brazil international. Guimaraes' £100 million release clause has now expired without any clubs showing any real sign of triggering it earlier in the summer. Even if the world-class midfielder's head was to be turned by the lure of a top Premier League side, Newcastle are said to be willing to stand firm on his place at James Park. Arsenal are set to be joined by Manchester City and thinking they could tempt the Brazilian away this summer. Signing a player like Guimaraes would certainly be a blockbuster move to end the window, but the notion of completing a deal of that size in 2 weeks has to be questioned. Mega money signings often take months to get completed, and the idea of being able to take such a big asset away from Newcastle, who avoided their PSR scare, is a huge ask. Arsenal are preparing their next bid for Mikel Merino after seeing their first rejected. This feels like the deal which could get done for Arsenal, and they would still be adding a player of high quality for a fraction of the price which the Newcastle midfielder would likely demand. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.